Hello, and welcome to this demonstration on how we can use the new CSI volume expansion functionality online in the vSphere CSI driver version 2.2. Note that this requires vSphere version 7.0 update 2, so you'll need to ensure that your vCenter server and your ESXi hosts are all running that version of vSphere. So let's begin. So I don't have anything deployed on this Kubernetes cluster right now. Let's just take a look at what version of cluster we do have, and it's running Kubernetes 120.5. Okay, so what we can do, and I have these prepared previously, is deploy out some of these manifests that you can see here. First is a storage class, and note that it has an entry called allow volume expansion set to true. So I'm going to apply that. The next thing to look at is the PVC manifest. So let's take a look at my PVC manifest. And it's very straightforward. You can see it's a persistent volume claim. It's going to use the storage class that I just created, and we're going to build a volume that's 1 gig in size. So let's apply that. Great. So let's have a look at my PVC and my storage class. And we can also include the persistent volume in this view. Great. So we said this is online expansion. Previously, we supported offline expansion. What that meant is you had to detach the volume from the pod and then resize it and attach it back to the pod. That's no longer necessary in this version. In this version, we can leave the volume attached to the pod while we do the resize. So let's do that next. Let's have a look at my pod manifest. Pretty straightforward, very simple, busy box. And what we're going to do is we're going to mount a volume onto /mnt volume 1, and that volume will be provided for the persistent volume claim that we just built previously. So let's apply that. Okay, let's get the pods. And it's just creating that right now. And it won't take a moment. And we should have that pod up and running. And there we go. So I will kubectl exec into this pod. Just launch a shell. And if I look in here at the file systems, I should see my dev SDB of about 1 gig in size on a MNT volume 1. So that all looks pretty good as well. So let's just go to that volume. Okay, I'm going to make a new directory, cd into that directory, and I'll just copy some files from the etc folder to here. And now I have some files. And what I want to do is just show you that after the resize has taken place, these files are still present, available, unaffected by the resize operation. So the resize operation actually takes the form of a patch. kubectl patch, we're patching a PVC, and this is the PVC that we're going to patch. And what we're modifying is the spec.resources.requests.storage size, and we're going to set this to 2 gig, whereas previously it was 1 gig. And it looks like it's been patched successfully. So now if I do a kubectl get PVC, get the PV, you can see that capacity now of the PVC, of the PV, is 2 gig in size. And just giving it a moment for the PVC to update, that is also 2 gig in size. So the last thing I want to show you is if we go back into our BusyBox pod, which is where this volume is attached, and we run the same commands as before, we can now see that our dev SDB has increased in size to 2 gig. And if we go into the mount point, my folder is still there, and all the files that we created, copied in here earlier, are still here as well. So that completes the demonstration of the CSI feature to allow online volume expand in vSphere CSI 2.2. Thanks for watching.